Hi, welcome to this hypnotherapy session. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to disappear from the screen and the screen is going to go black to allow you to settle into it. So please sit down or lay down comfortably. Make sure your headphones are in if you've got them. Turn off any notifications on your phone. Hopefully, you've watched the short video introduction explaining what hypnotherapy is or isn't, but if you haven't, that doesn't really matter. So this screen's going to go black now, and I'd like you to settle down and enjoy the session. Thank you.
You don't need to feel relaxed yet. Nothing needs to change quickly. Just noticing yourself here, exactly as you are, is enough for now. Now some minds start busy, some already feel quieter, and many move between the two, wandering a little, and perhaps wondering without trying how ease begins. So there's no right way to do this, just only your way. And you might notice the simple fact you're here listening, not needing to go anywhere else right now. Thoughts can drift or stay close or move in and out like breath. And you don't have to mind that. You may simply notice the mind doing what it does in its own time. And at some point awareness may rest in the body, not as effort, just as presence. Parts of the body you're aware of, and parts that remain quiet in the background. As if your attention can gently feel and fill whichever space it lands on. And perhaps without planning to, you become aware of the breath. It's been there all along, arriving, leaving, doing its work piece by piece. And as your body finds a little more peace in the noticing. Most people don't notice breathing until it matters. And this might be that moment for you. Nothing forced, just the breath aware of itself again. And as you notice it, you might sense the system already knows how to settle. A slightly softer exhale, a little more room in the ribs. Or just the simple recognition that breathing happens without your help. There's no need to take a deep breath. The body will just know. And if nothing changes yet, well, that's just the work beginning. So awareness first and shift later. You might begin to feel a small softening somewhere, or the hint of heaviness, or the sense of being placed here in this moment. As thoughts begin to wander, and wonder where they go when they soften. And of course you don't have to guide it, and you don't have to follow it. Just be here. Let the mind decide how it listens, and the body decides how it rests. Because sometimes we understand something consciously, and sometimes we hear, and hear in a different way, one that doesn't need thinking to make sense. And as all that settles in its own way, when you're ready, or before even you realise you're ready, we can just begin to move just a little deeper. And now, as you continue to breathe slowly and evenly, awareness begins to drift inward. Each breath a quiet signal to the body. You can soften now. You can rest. Notice the gentle weight where your body meets the surface beneath you. Notice the air on your skin. The subtle movement of breath at the edges of your nostrils. The stillness forming around each sound. And with every breath, the body settles more deeply than before. The rhythm of breathing becomes the rhythm of calm. I'd like you now to maybe imagine yourself standing at the top of a long, smooth staircase. And it's softly lit and it's gently inviting. And it's safe. And I want you to, with each number I count, when I count them, you can take one easy step downwards. And with every step downwards, deeper down, your comfort will double. So on the 10th step, and the muscles behind the eyes relaxing. And stepping down to the 9th, you feel the shoulders release. Down through 8, and a warmth spreads through your chest and arms. Down to 7, and just breathing deeper now. To 6, and drifting further downwards. And on the 5th step, halfway down now, safe and steady. Down to 4, legs loose and heavy. And as you reach the 3rd step, the thoughts start drifting further apart. And 2 almost at the bottom now. And 1 stepping off, arriving in a space of complete stillness. And as you reach this special place, you simply pause and breathe. Each exhale draws you 1 layer deeper into comfort. You might even notice tiny details now. A faint pulse in the fingertip. A gentle rhythm of the heart. Each beat syncing with the breath. And that's okay, this is just your body learning the pattern of peace. And here awareness expands and contracts, like the slow movement of a tide. And as you inhale, a faint sense of lifting, as though light moves gently through the body. And as you exhale, a quiet descent, sinking a little deeper, a little further into calm. Each rise opens the door for a deeper fall. Each fall teaches the system that letting go is safe. Time begins to stretch now. Moments widen. The conscious mind loses its grip. You start to sense the quiet below thought. Even if you can hear background sounds, a car outside, a creak in the room, they just blend into depth. They become part of the rhythm that carries you deeper. And if you were to measure time, you'd find it shifting. Seconds expanding. Minutes dissolving into stillness. And that's good, because this is just the subconscious taking charge. And in that quiet stillness, your deeper mind can begin to show just how responsive it already is. You might like now, I don't know, simply to choose one of your hands, whichever hand feels right to you. There's no need to analyze or decide. Just notice which one your attention drifts to. And as that hand becomes the focus, bring awareness to one single finger, perhaps the first that draws your attention, perhaps another. So your mind will know which one it wishes to use. So just notice that finger now, its weight, its warmth, and of course the tiny pulse of life within it. And as you notice, you may begin to sense a faint impulse there, a soft current, a micro movement. You don't need to make it happen. In fact, you might have even tried to keep it completely still and just notice what happens anyway. Because when the subconscious mind is ready to respond, it often chooses the smallest possible signal, a twitch, a flutter, a movement so light it's almost imagined. And whether that movement happens now or a little later, the awareness of it tells you something deeper. That your mind and your body are listening to each other. And as soon as you become aware of that subtle response, or even the feeling that it could happen, you can just allow the whole hand to rest again. And as it settles, you drift twice as deep. Relaxation spreading outwards like the gentle ripples of calm. And every muscle now learning what ease feels like. Every cell remembering balance. And now as all systems begin to synchronize, breath, pulse, thought, each moving to the same slow rhythm, the deeper the mind is open. The surface mind pleasantly distant, as if two parts of you were working together perfectly. One resting, one listening, both in harmony. And it may feel as though you could stay here for 5 minutes or 5 hours. And the difference would mean nothing, because time inside calm has its own pace. What feels like a moment can be long enough for the subconscious to reset and to restore and to heal. So there's nothing to manage, nothing to prove, only the rhythm of breath, the steadiness of the heartbeat, and the feeling of drifting effortlessly in peace. And the deeper you drift, the quieter everything becomes, and the more ready you are for the work that follows, anchored, open, and completely at ease. And for others, stillness becomes deeper, solid, steady, a place to rest. Either way, that's your system responding. No pushing, no performing, just noticing what's there and their own way of responding. So let awareness settle now, where effort falls away and the body will know what to do without instruction. You aren't falling asleep, but if later something in you choose to do this, that's fine. The mind can rest and still know, without needing to know how it does this. Comfort doing the work, you simply being the space it happens in, and in its own good time. And as you settle more comfortably, you may become aware that your breathing is beginning to find its own natural rhythm. A rhythm that signals to the whole body that this is a moment of rest. A moment of ease. A moment where the mind and body can communicate more clearly and more calmly than they usually do. Because the gut and the mind are always talking to each other, sending messages, responding, trying to protect you. And I.B.S is so often the result of a system that is not ill. It isn't ill, it's just over-responding, over-sensitive. It's a system that simply needs reassurance and new patterns of comfort. Now I'd like you please to imagine your digestive system as a long, flexible, muscular tube. And this tube stretches from high in the chest, down through the centre of the body, gently curving and winding in the quiet space beneath your ribs. A strong tube, a capable tube, a tube designed to move smoothly, steadily, comfortably. And as you imagine this tube now, you may notice that parts of it begin to soften, almost as if they are remembering how to relax in a way that feels natural and right. And to help this softening, you might imagine a warm hand resting gently over the abdomen, sending warmth inward, the kind of warmth that soothes, settles, and reassures the gut that it is safe. And now, inside your mind, you can create a picture of that tube, filled with calm energy moving through it, just like a gentle flow, a steady current, as if the whole digestive system is beginning to move like a quiet, peaceful river. You may imagine this river starting high above the abdomen, flowing downward through the stomach, smoothing around each bend, steady, calm, consistent. This river doesn't rush. It doesn't tighten. It simply moves in a gentle, even rhythm. And this is what your gut is designed for. And as you picture that river flowing, you might notice that the walls of that muscular tube soften even further, letting go of any unnecessary tension, opening just enough to allow things to move in an easy, coordinated way. You can imagine the muscular walls of the gut becoming supple, flexible, responsive, adjusting naturally to the flow without gripping, without tightening, without forcing anything. Because your digestive system knows how to do this. It has always known. It just simply needed the right kind of remember. And now I'd like you to imagine that somewhere inside this system there is a comfort dial. A dial that controls how settled you feel inside, how calm your gut becomes, how smooth and steady the movements are. And as you look at that dial, you may notice that without any effort, the needle begins to move, gently settling towards greater comfort, towards ease, towards the place your body chooses for itself. You don't have to force it. You don't have to try. Just observing the dial is enough for the body to find a calmer state. And as that dial continues to settle, you may imagine the warm energy from above flowing downward through every part of that long muscular tube, easing the stomach, softening the intestines, relaxing the colon, helping everything within to move smoothly and comfortably. So some people find that the more they imagine this river, the flexible tube, this steady, comfortable system, the more their body responds in a simple, natural way. A softening of the muscle, a warming of the abdomen, a sense of deep reassurance in the core of the body. Your digestive system is not malfunctioning, it is simply sensitive. And sensitivity can be guided, trained, calmed into a healthier rhythm. Now imagine that river again, flowing smoothly from top to bottom, steady and calm, coordinated and confident, as if every part of your system is getting the signal that everything is okay. You may even picture the inside of the gut as smooth, open and gliding, each wave of movement slow, easy, cooperative. And as these waves move, the entire system begins learning a new pattern, a gentler pattern, a pattern of comfort. And just feel that wave now like a soft tide rolling through the center of you. Not forcing, just guiding. A subtle reminder that your gut can move at exactly the pace it needs to, because your body knows the way. And every moment you spend in this calm, soothing imagery teaches the gut to return to that natural way more easily, more automatically, more confidently. And as this comfort grows, it becomes a message sent through your whole system. You are not ill. You are capable. You are calming. You are healing. And your gut knows how to follow this new, kinder rhythm. One breath at a time, one wave at a time, one gentle moment at a time. And now, as this time of calm and focus begins to draw to a close, you can allow all the useful changes from this session to continue settling quietly in the background of your mind. There's no need to think about them. They're already integrating naturally and becoming part of the way you think, feel, and respond. So the body begins to re-energize now, the mind clearing, the breath deepening, and you may start to notice small movements returning, a shift of the shoulders, maybe a swallow, or maybe the fingers or toes beginning to move. And as you reconnect with the room around you, you bring this calm awareness with you, clear, balanced, steady. And in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and with each number your energy will rise, your sharpness focus, and you return to full alertness, calm, refreshed and clear-headed. So 1, taking a deeper breath. 2, feeling energy return through the body. That's it. 3, becoming aware of your surroundings. 4, your eyes beginning to blink. Mind bright, body refreshed. And 5, eyes open now, fully awake, calm, clear, and ready to move forward.